Tonight, we're going to take a very close look at Upper Moreland Township, the school district, the teachers, and the children. All this and more on this edition of Your Schools. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's edition of Your Schools. I'm Bob Clark, Director of Media Services for the Upper Moreland School District, and I'm so pleased that you could be with us for tonight's special program, departing from our customary format. This evening, we're going to give you an opportunity to share with the professional staff and the school board a part of this year's Middle States Evaluation. Right now, a program of evaluation, accreditation for the Upper Moreland High School is underway. Essentially, what this means is that the Upper Moreland School District, having completed a one-year program, an exhaustive program of self-evaluation, is now hosting 22 educators, administrators, and school teachers from areas in and around the Upper Moreland School District, and educators from as far away as New York and Delaware. They have come as our guests, and they are assisting the school district in taking a close look at the high school program. The end result is, quite naturally, that Upper Moreland High School would hope to continue to enjoy the necessary rating from the Middle States Evaluating Committee. This rating is an integral, an important part of a young person's attempt to secure placement in one of the finer colleges and universities. It is beyond any kind of evaluation conducted by the State Department of Education or things of this nature. This is the method whereby a high school program is looked at very, very closely. Now, what you're seeing as I speak is the first gathering of representatives of the high school administration, the professional staff, members of the school board, and the 22 members of the Middle States Committee. The first process was one of a social nature, and that was a chance for everyone to get acquainted, and for the members of this 22-person committee to take a look at the high school and to meet some of the people whose classes they would be observing, and to discuss on an informal basis the procedures that they would be following for the next 2 or 3 days. The chairperson of this year's Middle States Evaluation Committee is Dr. Glenn Grube. And we consider ourselves very fortunate in having someone as experienced as Dr. Grube to head up this year's committee. He is an assistant superintendent of schools by profession. This is his 12th Middle States evaluation. As a matter of fact, this is his 6th opportunity to serve as the chairperson of an evaluating team. He will set the tone, as it were, for the group and will channel their efforts during the next 3 days. A year-long evaluation followed by an intensive 3-day visitation by a 22-person team. And they'll be working during the day and in the evening in an effort to present the basis by which the Upper Moreland School District would continue to enjoy its accreditation. Following supper, a presentation of the philosophy and the objectives was made by high school English teacher Mrs. Winifred Bell, who was a part of the steering committee who helped to direct the self-evaluation of the Upper Moreland High School. And then, following Mrs. Bell's presentation, the first of the committee reports. Now, this is an unusual type of presentation. One of the first steps in the self-evaluation was to take a look not only at the school district and the high school, but the community itself. What makes Upper Moreland Township tick? And during the course of the assembling of the data, a number of teachers and community residents were encouraged to provide input into this report. In its final form, it is a rather lengthy statistical document. But in order to provide our guests with a feel for the community on their very first evening, this year's school and community group decided to take the data and translate it into this documentary presentation. So right now we're going to share with you the actual school and community report as shared with the Middle States Evaluating Committee on Tuesday, October 8, 1983. The Upper Moreland School District occupies a land area of 7.5 square miles, located in the northeastern corner of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. The township is situated approximately 10 miles north of the outer limits of the city of Philadelphia and 15 miles from its center. It is this enviable location within Montgomery County, rich in history and resources, and adjacent to the rolling hills of Bucks County, with the advantages of urban culture to the south in Philadelphia, which makes it possible for residents and their children to enjoy the proximity of so many collegiate institutions, libraries, museums, recreational facilities, art galleries, and youth service organizations. The business area of Upper Moreland Township is the town of Willow Grove, which is located 2 miles from exit 27 of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. A new shopping mall, which opened during the summer of 1982, borders on the township and has given employment to several hundred persons from our township, including part-time employment for many of our students. And yet, there has been no significant change in the economic development of the community in the last 10 years.
What's your name? That means
Upper Moreland is a suburban school district with a general population of approximately 25,000 residents. The community contains a narrow socio-economic diversity with a strikingly large portion of the middle and upper middle class labor force engaged in white-collar occupations. The mean income, based on 1980 census figures, was about $27,000. The unemployment rate for November 1982 was less than 6%. The number of families living in the township with incomes below the poverty level was about 3%. The non-white population has increased from less than 1% to 3% in 1980. The population has remained fairly stable. 90% of the seniors spent 4 years in Upper Moreland High School. 65% of the housing is owner-occupied. The township itself is governed by a board of commissioners, all residents of the community, and its affairs are administered by a township manager. Upper Moreland has a paid police force and an unpaid fire company. Volunteers also man the Second Alarmers Ambulance Corps. Even in the 80s, this is still a community where people get involved. Business and residential growth have been kept in check by an active parks and recreation program. Parks and parklets serve all areas of the township. A beautiful swim club serves hundreds of member families. Rail and bus service supplement the thousands of autos that travel on township-maintained roads. Upper Moreland has its own municipal services, trash and refuse collection, and shares seats with Hatboro, governing its local sewer authority. It is, according to a number of real estate agents, a place where people choose to settle because, in addition to everything else, they like the schools. There are currently 4 schools in the Upper Moreland School District, most of recent construction. The school district maintains a central administration building with its own computer center. It operates its own transportation, maintenance, and storage facilities. The present enrollment of the school district is approximately 3,300 students, which represents about 59% of the school-age population in the district. The district staff consists of approximately 210 full-time professionals. The district employs 105 full-time and 92 part-time support personnel. All of the elementary buildings have full-time principals. The middle school and the high school have administrative assistants in addition to the principals. The central office staff includes Superintendent of Schools Dr. Paul W. Beck, who assumed his position in July of 1983, having served for 18 months as Assistant Superintendent of Schools. Selected from a roster of over 100 candidates for the position, Dr. Beck's unique qualifications are further enhanced by the fact that he is the first graduate of the Upper Moreland School District to ever serve as the Superintendent of Schools. As a member of the class of 1960, he was part of the first class to graduate from the Upper Moreland High School on Turwood Road. The central office staff also includes an administrative assistant, a business manager, a director of secondary education, a director of management and pupil personnel services, and a director of media services. In addition, the supervisor of reading, the supervisor of special education services, and a district psychologist also make their offices there, along with the clerical and secretarial personnel. Moreover, in the adjoining buildings, a supervisor of maintenance and transportation administers the warehousing, janitorial services, and a large roster of public and non-public transport schedules. The Board of School Directors holds its public meetings in the Central Administration Building once each month. As in other Commonwealth public education systems, this dedicated group of 9 elected directors are all residents of the township, and they review the philosophy and the policy which govern the educational program of the Upper Moreland schools, and they establish the operating budget to support that program.
I think that the young people in our school feel that when they see the building principal in the classrooms, in
the Cold
hallways,
Spring Elementary School, housing approximately 550 students in grades K through 5. Built in 1962, this elementary facility is located on a 12-acre site at the southern extreme of the high school campus. Its original 19 classrooms were supplemented by a building addition in 1966. 7 more classrooms and a library were added to accommodate the burgeoning enrollment of the 60s. The building principal is veteran educator Mr. James W. Stevenson.
The most intriguing thing about coming to work in a school is you never know what's going to be there.
The Round Meadow Elementary School, with a K-5 enrollment of approximately 725 students. Dedicated in 1973, situated on a 17-acre plot on Bybury Road, this facility contains 30 classrooms, a multi-purpose room, cafeteria, music and art rooms, a library media center, speech room, large group instruction room, and teacher's room. Many of the classrooms were designed to accommodate the flexible space concept. The building principal is Mr. Charles J. Ross. Across the playing fields of this campus, located in the northern sector of the township, is the Upper Moreland Middle School, with a current enrollment of approximately 760 students in grades 6 through 8. This one-story air-conditioned building of imaginative design was opened in 1970 as a junior high school. Among its unique features, an interior courtyard, an indoor pool, a spacious auditorium whose seating area can be converted to 5 independent lecture areas, and a library media center ringed by departmental offices. As enrollments declined, and to more effectively meet the needs of the student populace, the junior high school was transformed to the Upper Moreland Middle School in September of 1980. Under the supervision of building principal Mr. Joseph G. Kohler and his assistant Mrs. Barbara Fricker, Upper Moreland Middle School has enjoyed remarkable success in achieving its educational objectives. It seems appropriate to note the disposition of 2 former elementary schools, closed because of the decline in enrollment. The North Willow Grove Elementary School, located on Blair Mill Road, north of the Turnpike exit, was closed in 1980. Sold recently, it is presently being converted by its new owners into a professional medical center.
Nothing is more traumatic in our communities today than the closing.
In June of 1983, the Woodlawn Elementary School closed its doors. A small facility, located in the midst of a residential area, Woodlawn had served the Upper Moreland School District since 1952. Owing to the proximity to hundreds of neighboring residents, the Upper Moreland School Board has elected to lease the building and thereby maintain a tighter control over the disposition of the facility and the surrounding playing fields. Alive and well, however, and located on the 60-acre site which it shares with the Cold Spring Elementary School in the center of the township, is the Upper Moreland High School. Housing students in grades 9 through 12, its current enrollment is approximately 1,150 students. This functional building, equipped with large, well-lighted classrooms An auditorium, gymnasium, cafeteria first opened its doors in 1959. It boasts special project rooms for music, art, science, home economics, printing, and health education. It is surrounded by fields for major sports and 5 tennis courts. A 19-room addition was completed in 1963, and in 1970, a spacious, well-equipped library media center was added, tripling the space of the old library and more than tripling the book capacity. Conference rooms, a district professional library, an informal reading area, and the overall unique architectural features continue to make it one of the outstanding school libraries in Pennsylvania. In addition, in 1970, the high school stadium was completed. Upper Moreland High School is administered by building principal and veteran educator Robert H. Bubeck, assistant principal L. John DeLaurentis, also an Upper Moreland alumnus, and Dean of Students John J. Rogers. Upper Moreland High School students are noted for excellence in academic achievement, as well as co-curricular activities. Students generally score well above average on standardized tests, which are used for educational and career planning. The smallest fraction of students withdraw from the Upper Moreland High School program. Conversely, from a recent survey of 329 graduates, 125 were accepted at a 4-year college. 32 were accepted at a 2-year college. 6 were accepted at a nursing school. 10 were accepted at a trade school. In his middle school years, the Upper Moreland student and his parent begin to make choices for the next year and eventual career goals. By high school, the student annually goes through this process with increasing responsibility placed on his shoulders for his choices. The course selection process is concentrated in January and February and is marked by information seminars for parents in the evenings, information seminars for the students during the day, and much counseling. Administration of the Job O, Cooter tests, and online experiences with the computerized guidance information services are all procedures that help students determine their occupational intentions. Students with special needs are carefully monitored at the Upper Moreland High School. Psychological handicapping information is collected, maintained, and dispersed through the guidance office under the direction of the District Supervisor of Special Education Services. Similarly, academically gifted students are challenged by programs customized to their particular needs. One of Upper Moreland's greatest challenges is its declining enrollment. Enrollment has been dropping steadily, and it is projected to continue its downward slide until the 1990s, as shown by the township birth statistics. 510 children were born in Upper Moreland Township in 1960. 294 were born here in 1981. The school board and the central administration have stated their intention of retaining the number of course offerings at the present level as much as possible in spite of the declining enrollment. But fewer students, coupled with an ever-increasing storehouse of knowledge to be amalgamated into the high school curricula, place before the board, the administration, the professional staff, and the community their most significant challenge. According to the stated philosophy of the Upper Moreland High School, implementing the goals of quality education is the collective responsibility of staff and students, parents and community, working together in mutual respect to prepare students to fulfill their obligations as responsible citizens in a free society. Since Upper Moreland graduated its first high school class in 1929, we have achieved that goal. As a school in the community of the 1980s, we will continue to meet the challenge. Now, what happens is that the members of this committee visit the school. They go into classrooms and observe. They talk with young people. They meet with administrators and members of the Upper Moreland School Board. And they conduct their own fact-finding, using as a basis for their study the self-evaluation that was conducted by the school district itself. On the Friday after their visit, Chairperson Dr. Grube will present an interim report to the members of the high school staff and administration, giving them a preliminary update on the areas in which the committee agreed with the self-evaluation, areas where the committee disagreed with the self-evaluation, and presenting items which were not a part of the self-evaluation, but which the committee itself thought should be included in the Upper Moreland High School program. And then, 6 weeks from now, a finished report will be presented to the school district, hopefully continuing the accreditation process for the Upper Moreland High School. In the weeks to come, we'll be sharing with you the report as it develops, and giving you an opportunity to share with the staff this process that is a vital part of your schools. Until next week then, same time, same cable channel, this is Bob Clark. Thanks for being with us. Your Schools is a presentation of the School District of Upper Moreland Township. It is produced by its Department of Media Services, which is solely responsible for the content of these cable casts. In addition, this series has been made possible through the cooperation of the Comcast cable network.
Option number 2 on the closing of Woodlawn School. The committee recommends, first of all, that the open space, the ball fields, the grass area, and possibly part of the paved area be maintained in public ownership either through the school board or the township and be utilized as perpetual open space or parkland. The second recommendation is concerned about the use of the school building itself. We've made 5 recommendations by priority order. The first priority recommendation is to sell the school building. The second recommendation is to lease the school building. To sell or lease, we recommend that the tenant or the purchaser be either a religious or private educational institution or a clean office business type of operation. Our third recommendation would be to demolish the building and use the grounds as either a parkland or the front part of the grounds facing Woodlawn Avenue as residential development. Our fourth recommendation would be to utilize the school building in its entirety for community use. Now, the reason this is our fourth priority is because we realize in today's economy that the cost might be prohibited to use the entire building for such programs as recreation, senior citizen activities, and so forth. Our fifth and last recommendation is to mothball the building. It's our feeling that the mothball Woodlawn School would be extremely expensive to start the building up again in a few years if necessary, and would create additional problems to the residents in the nearby neighborhood. Our recommendation to the school board is to act as quickly as possible in making a decision so we can fulfill and implement whatever decision they make before the school is completely emptied. Thank you.